Good morning, class. I'm Mr. Winterbottom. I'm composing an opus, and I require all of you to be my notes. If you line up on the bars, we'll work out who's the middle C.
And that was a taste of one of Thomas Henning's latest plays, yoga, at least half an hour. I'm Thomas Wright, this is Thomas Henning. Thank you very much for that. That was a wonderful introduction. Could you tell us now, now that we're on the subject, about some of the films that you made when you were
yes.
during the period of 1998 to 2000? I gather you were quite prolific in generating a number of art videos, I believe they're called, some history pictures, and also some
A lot of genre pieces.
And can you talk about some of your better known films from that period?
Yes. Fang and the Steambox was
I remember widely fond of it. I was actually showing that to my little sister just the other day, and she actually quite enjoyed it.
Yes. Well, people do have families, this is true. And they do like to share wisdom. This is true. But yes, no, Fang and the Steambox was yet again a genre piece. At the time we were working very consciously with genre and aiming to indulge it as much as possible. So often we would get out on the weekends and just really be genres. Like, we'd give them everything. We'd give them yeast, bacon, corn, bacon, crackling. But Fang and the Steambox
Would you talk about your favourite moment in that?
Oh yes, it was mind-blowing work that continually managed to blow my mind throughout its entire inception and contraception. It was used for several years as contraception in public schools, which I was very pleased with. But my favourite moment within it is the part where Gladys realises that it is in fact not her steambox but Fang's. And the realization crossing her face at that point in time is quite amazing, and it had not been done.
And Gladys was played by
Chris. Wilson. Yes, Chris Wilson. He has done a bit of weeding recently, and I say myself, it's pretty tops.
Well, Thomas Henning, thank you very much for talking with us. This is Thomas Henning's latest book, Yaxing. Would you tell us a little bit about this publication? Because I haven't, I haven't had the time to read all of it, but I have enjoyed what I have read, and I do think that it's a real bon mot.
It's an absolute nose biter. That's what I said in the Herald this morning. A total nose biter of a book. A real nose biter of a book, they call it. Now, Yaxing is basically my tao on food, in which I describe my generalized philosophies and opinions in a kind of a very fluid manner. I followed, what's his name, Frank Sinatra, who wrote On the Road, his method of writing using one toilet roll. And I basically produced Yaxing.
Free Alsatians.
No free Alsatians. No. Reg Pascal. Where were we? Yaxing, yes. On the subject of Yaxing. I had it ghostwritten and I wrote about 3 words and I wrote, fuck, where's my cheese? Really not sure how it became philosophy, but still, morals is morals, I think.
You also had another film which was quite well known at that time that I have here called Cunts.
That was in my blue period.
But not a cunt in the...
Not a cunt in the film. Well, I suppose the title was a bit metaphoric, really.
What were you trying to say with that?
I guess I was talking about man's in turmoil and his struggle to retain stability in an unstable world. And I think I was talking about that constant caring problem between Man and the Many, in which he finds himself caught in a cupboard cleaning goat's cheese off of himself, and he wonders.
What do you got here?
I'm made of ice!
I have read that. What have you got there, though?
No. No! 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 This is bad! I'm made of ice.
So you were talking about cunts. But I'd like to move on and just talk about your favourite films of your own from that period. If you could just list them, maybe the top one to say 4 or 5, or if
I'm made of ice!
If you're willing to keep going.
Yes. Well, during the 98 to 2000 period, I think among my favourites was Steeplechase Sweetheart, in which, yes, that was quite a classic, really. I think...
You guys got 5 minutes of tape left.
Okay. The 15-minute shower sequence between a man and his horse was very much a first.
It certainly broke some boundaries.
98 and 99 period.
And your ensuing favourite film? Did you say that was your number 1 or your number 4?
No, that would have been number 2, 3. No, my favourite, probably my second favourite would have been Sweatshop Boys, which was a groundbreaking drama at the time. I mean, not so many people were talking about sweatshops at the time. Well, everybody was talking about sweatshops, but not many people were doing things about it. So I set up Sweatshop with the local youth and filmed them all the way through, and you get some pretty startling results.
And I remember you had a death on that film.
Oh, several, yes. One that was on camera. Only one on camera.
I also remember Big Cancer.
Oh, Big Cancer, yes. No, that was a children's film. That was not so popular. It seems children are not so fond of films about big cancers.
But then you had this, you had this big cap, big rock, rock cap, and you know, it was a period that really disenchanted a lot of your audience.
Yes. That was 2000, 2001 really, and I had been given a 12-picture deal by one of the major studios, who I won't mention now, but if you just look at the back of any of those films, you'll find out who. And basically, I ended up creating various sample palettes in which people tested ideas, and I was basically testing notions.
And would you talk to us about the of course, your biggest failure, which everyone has heard of, the big box office crushing defeat, which was your film with Tobey Maguire, titled Mog, about the boy with the Downs, a problem with his mind.
Yes. That did hurt. Yes, that was a sore film. That was an endeavour at ultimately an Academy Award for both me and Toby. But we really went short of the money there. But
what went wrong?
It was the horrible. Oh God, it was horrific. The horrible impersonation of a Downey that Toby did. It was absolutely monstrous.
I do remember.
It was a freakish performance in which he practically defecated all over the mentally ill or those with any brain injury, and he dragged himself around screeching, slapping his arms about, behaving like a walrus and throwing up on children.
People talked about a lack of story.
Basically, at the time, I was highly
nursing
involved.
a terrible coke addiction.
I was, which was getting to me, and I was taking a lot of laxatives. And basically, what I thought at the time was people want character pieces. They don't want narrative pieces, they want character pieces. So we built this entire thing around Toby, and what he was doing was frankly hilarious. And it was absolutely phenomenal. We'd never seen anyone with Down syndrome behave in such a way So I
It was
thought
entirely inconceivable, particularly the flying sequence.
yes, that's true. But they do say they have special powers. And we were not necessarily aiming for a reality, we were aiming for a dream.
Huge loads.
Huge loads, yes. He shot huge loads. Throughout the
Say that
film,
about-
that was something, high sexual appetite was one of the things we'd read. So basically we indulged
Just
fancies.
before we finish up, because we are winding up, I'd like you to talk about your biggest...
Ice!
Have read that. Your biggest box office success of that entire period, Breakneck Pigeon.
Breakneck Pigeon.
Oh well, there was another also that was quite high up in that period of time, the 1998 to 2000 period.
Oh yeah! Blowing My Horse.
Short film.
Internet smash.
Well, Thomas Henning, again, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure to meet you. I've long admired your work, and particularly that period as something that's stayed with me for a long time. It will stay with me. It's a wonderful pleasure to meet you finally after all these years, and thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me. Thomas Henning's Yaxing, coming out this week. You are handing this in to your teachers.
You can get an F.
Okay, keep going. Yeah.
Good luck,
What are you talking about? That's the worst idea I've ever heard. You're going to need to cut this, baby. Cut, baby, cut. Not drill, baby, drill.
We don't have the resources.
But I think there was probably 3 minutes of good stuff and probably 12 minutes of awkward babbling.
Painful try.